Fitness Prophet here, back with another message. Today I want to talk about Cardio 101. Welcome to class. And the Prophet, I have a message to talk to you guys about. The majority of you guys in the gym, and girls, and people, are basically doing cardio incorrect. I see it every single day I go to the gym. I see people, they're either holding on, doing their cardio, they're either just walking, going, they listen to their music, they're watching sports, and they're doing their cardio, right? Yeah, it's a good thing they're doing. But what they're doing incorrectly is they're not measuring their cardio. When you're performing cardio, you need to measure it. You can't just go there and say, I did 20 minutes 3 times a week. I did 60 minutes of cardio. I'm not losing weight. You see, going to the gym. I hear so many people say this. Oh, they tried doing cardio. They tried to lose weight. They went for 2 weeks and they actually gained weight. And then I'll ask a simple question. Okay, when you did cardio, where was your heart rate at? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, when you were doing your cardio, how long did you do it for each session? And what was your total week minutes of cardio? Interesting. Very interesting. And when you did your cardio, what was the level at? Were you at level 15 on the incline? Were you at level 0 on the incline? What was your speed you were doing? Or did you just keep going and adding until you said that's too much, and then you brought it back down, you brought it back down, you brought it back down, and then basically you were all over the place when you're doing it? Interesting. So I'm going to break down the Cardio 101 for you beginners that are coming out there, because summer is right around the corner. There's literally, I think right now, there's 103 days left until the first day of summer. I can't wait. So, the first important step when you're doing your cardio, you need to find out what your BPM is. Your heart rate, beats per minute. You need to know what your resting heart rate is. Mine's right now is at, last time I measured was 4 days ago. I'm at 59 beats per minute, which is pretty good. But regardless what level if you're at 80 beats per minute, you know what? Yeah, you got to work on stuff. But regardless of what your beats per minute is, that's important to know. But what you need to know when performing your cardio is how many beats per minute your heart is working at. This is how you find out how efficient your cardio session is. So let's just say that let's pick 40. Everyone is 40 is a number when everyone's like, oh my goodness, midlife crisis. Someone is 40 years old, right? You subtract that 40 by 220, right? 220. That leaves us with 180. So your heart rate max is 180 beats per minute. That's you at 100%. Okay? Now, based off that 180, your cardio, when you're performing it, you need to find out where your heart rate is at. Right? I always say, for beginners, when you're doing cardio, try to stick on the treadmill. Don't try to go grab all the elliptical, the bicycle. The bicycle, for me, is not a good cardio equipment. It's good to warm your legs up and stuff if you're getting ready to do like arms or even chest or even your legs. It's a very good warm up, but I stay away from bicycling. If bicycling is your choice, then okay, then choose it, right? You could use any equipment, but I suggest the treadmill is always best. So 180 is your heart rate max. Now, when you start out, you always start out, especially with steady state, if you're just starting, you start with the most basic cardio, LISS, and that's steady state walking. You know, you're walking, you're pacing, but your heart rate needs to be at least 50%, which 50% of this, that is 90. 90 beats per minute is what your heart rate should be for the entire length of cardio. So if we're doing 20 minutes of cardio, We have to add 5 minutes in, so it's 25 minutes. The first 5 minutes is the warm-up stage, and to figure out what level you need to be at, what level and speed you need to be at to get that 90 beats per minute. Whenever you figure that out, that's your baseline. And you start from there. And slowly, don't do it every session, but like you go do your first week at 50%. But your goal for this is always going to be 60%. 60% should always be your baseline for list training. So you could do 25 minutes, 5 minutes is warm up, so it's 20 minutes in that zone, 3 times a week to start, and your goal is to get to 60%. And 60% would basically be 108 beats per minute. So when you're performing your cardio, after a week, 2 weeks or so, your goal should be to get your heart rate to 108 beats per minute for a 40-year-old. The next important phase, time. How long should your cardio be? Each session, and not only each session, each week. We have to look at our cardios in 2 different phases. There's how much each session and how much each week. To start out, I always say start out with at least 60 minutes. You're beginning, you don't want to throw everything in there. And this is why a lot of people fail. You're in a rush to try and lose as much weight. You put way too much effort. You'll jump out there, you'll say, I'm going to do 150 minutes of cardio a week. I'm going to jump out there, I'm going to do 200 minutes of cardio a week. I'm just going to go crazy, I'm going to go nuts, and then you know what happens? After about a week, after about 2 weeks, you quit. Because you're saying, I'm so drained out, I'm so burnt out, I started with way too much energy in the beginning, and now I just crashed. And then you're going to be the person on the internet saying, you know what, working out, doing cardio, doing all that stuff, it doesn't work. I've tried it, and I failed. It's a waste of time. No, it's not. You're not doing it properly. You're running too fast. You need to slow it down. I always suggest start off with 60 minutes a week. That's your baseline. When you start off with 60 minutes a week of cardio, each week you could add on 10 minutes. You could add on 20 minutes. But the whole goal is to progressively, slowly overload yourself, because you'll be getting healthier. You'll be losing weight. You'll see that your lungs is basically performing more efficiently. You'll be like, yo, I'm running up a set of stairs. I'm not breathing hard no more. So these things slowly come, and when they slowly come, you have to keep increasing your weekly cardio and each session too. The main goal, I would say, you have to do at least minimum 150 weeks. Your goal should be 150 minutes. Spell that wrong. 150 minutes of cardio minimum per week. Please preach the LAD lifestyle. Lifestyle, accountability, and discipline. That's the only way you could reach your fitness goals. So, back once again, time. Try to shoot for at least 150 minutes. You can slowly keep upping it up. And there's different forms of cardio you could do. There is list, as I was just talking about, which is low impact training. That's at 60%. There's zone 2 cardio. That's between 70 to 80%. And I'm talking about, the percentage I'm talking about is your heart rate, which I discussed over there, beats per minute. And then there's high intense interval training, which is basically you utilizing your whole max. You're basically keeping it at 100% for like a certain amount of time, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and then you're dropping it back down to get your heart rate back around 60%, 50%, until you get to that point where your heart has recovered, and then it's back up to 100%. Those are different forms of cardio, but that is not really for beginners. We're focusing on newbies. Beginners, you're just getting to the gym club, wherever you're going, your condo club, whatever it is, or you're doing it at home. That covers time. Next, we gotta cover the level. How much energy are you putting in there? As I said, we're gonna focus on the treadmill. The treadmill, most treadmills could go to an incline of 15, right? The speed, it could go, most treadmills I think could go about 12 miles per hour. I have honestly never tested it. The most I've done sprinting, I was doing 9 miles per hour, and I stopped it there. I'm like saying, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going any faster. I'm going to fall down. So you have this for speed, miles per hour, mph, and then you have this as the level. When you're doing your cardio, right? When you're just starting, start at a level 0. You don't need to get yourself all the way up to 15. Remember, baby steps. Baby steps. You gotta slowly get yourself to that level. When basically you're doing your cardio on the treadmill at like, you're now doing it at 10, level 10. You're now doing it at level 12, and you're increasing, but this takes time. You got to be patient. You cannot just jump in the gym in 1 week and then boom, you lose 10 pounds. It's not gonna happen like that. You're gonna have to take baby steps. So when you take baby steps, your whole goal is to not really get to level 15. But remember, it goes back to your heart rate. The level is what you need to know and understand that say, listen, I've been pushing at a level 2 and my heart rate, which was at 60%, is now at 50% of max. What does that mean? You could up the level to 3. You could go up to level 3 now. See how it is. If you're just like saying, whoa, I'm at level 3, my heart rate's still not at 60%. You could go to level 4. And you keep increasing the level and the speed until you get the desired heart rate percentage that you want for that particular workout. This is the mistake people make. You don't know how much beats per minute you're doing. You're not really knowing how much time you're doing per session and per week, and the level you don't even really know. That right there is a recipe. If you don't know any of these things, that's a recipe for failure. Yeah, that is derailing your gains. Now I put this at the end here to finish this off, and this is calories. On the cardio equipments, it does mention calories. It says, oh, you burned 200 calories. You burned 250. Oh, you burned 400. I went on it the other day and it said I burned 450 calories. Now, for that, I have to say just one word. It's garbage. It's not accurate and it's not consistent. You can't go to the gym and say, wow, I went on the treadmill and said I burned 500 calories, which is way off. Literally, it could be off by as much as 40%. And what happens, and I've seen people do this, they said, I burned 400 calories. You know what? I'm going to go to Pizza, and I'm going to grab a pizza. One slice of pizza. It'll be about 300 calories. But since I burned 500, that shouldn't be added as weight. I should be okay, right? No. Wrong. Because this is very inaccurate, and I tell people, ignore this. Do not look at that. Don't look at that as your marker to see how much you're burning. Because the number, as I said, could be off by as much as 40%. So think about that. 40%. If this is telling me I burned 500 calories at 40%, that's literally, I truly burned 300 calories at 40%. So that guy in his mind, he says, I could eat a pizza that's 300 calories, right? But I actually only burned 300 calories. Truthfully, you just wasted your time. Because what you burned, you ate right back. And not only did you eat right back, you ate it with an unhealthy food. Pizza is mostly carbs. Sure, there's cheese in it with protein, but pizza is mostly carbs. And carbs, that's another discussion for another video. But the whole purpose of this video is to teach you basic 101 cardio. Because a lot of people are in the gym and they're doing it incorrectly. And sometimes it's like, I'm just scratching my head. And I want to say something, but you know what? It's 2023. We have to mind our own business. Because you could get in serious trouble by just interfering with people now. So, cardio 101, fitness profit. That's our message for today. Fitness profit.